please.
Okay, so Noor. Well, first off, this was your second speech, correct? And it was great. You mastered your subject. It was very organized. So if you all don't know, Noor's subject line or his purpose for his speech was organization. So it was very organized, Noor. It was very, you hit all the points. You told a story with what you were saying. So got that out of the way. That was good. It was very organized. You met the goal. So here are just a few things for you to know. Number one, first off, your opening, the first line of the hook, it hooked me. Like you were like, February 6th, 2018. That was very interesting. That was very interesting to me. I felt like it really captured the audience, and you were like, whoa, what's going on? I would say that what I feel that it needed was after the whole February 6th, 2018, setting up that space type ambiance, you hear like boom, like la la la. So February 6th, 2018. This is so a good example of me saying it is February 12th, 2018. This is why you should care that it is February 12th, 2018. It's because I'm evaluating a Noor, and it's his evaluation, yada yada. So basically, your speech was excellent when it came to logical purpose and organization. What it needed was more emotion. Now, as far as the subject, I did not know, I knew nothing about what you were talking about. I had no prior knowledge. So how you get someone who doesn't know something, how you hook them, is you appeal to emotion. So you have to appeal to what they do know, which is emotion, how you feel about the subject. So you have to hype it up. You have to be very theatrical. So that goes back to your movements. So you had a great stage presence, by the way. You aren't slumping around. Your head's not low. What you should work on is just more emphatic gestures to prove your point. This. That makes us more excited with what you're saying. But we know you're logical. We know that you know what you're talking about. However, we don't know what you're talking about. So we want you to appeal more to emotion in order for us to feel hooked with what you're saying. Because we're just a bunch of non-space type people. I don't want to speak for all of you. But I am a non-space type person. Even though I'm interested in the subject, I'm interested in it emotionally, not logically. You know more about that subject than me, so appeal to that more. Work on your eye contact a little more. It felt like you had eye contact, you were scanning the room, but it wasn't more direct eye contact and looking directly. It was more of just a general. So that goes back to the whole lecture ambiance of basically your speech. So you were very knowledgeable. It was like a professor, and it was lecture type, but we need more of that emotion tied to it. Because if it's just lecture, then we're missing an integral piece to basically feeling what you're saying. And we don't know the subject like you. So it would help for you to get out of that lecture mode and that logical mode and appeal more to emotion, and you got it. But other than that, it was great. Thank you.
Good job, Ella. All right, moving things right along, let's get the third evaluator and the final, Bhanodai Pippala.
Today I'm evaluating Josh Baker for his next to last speech in a Confident Communicator Manual. Persuade, and his main title for his speech was to essentially persuade with power. He had 4 main objectives. Was able to persuade his audience using ideas and call to action with what he wanted to persuade with. I think he did a great job. He had 4 aspects. His first aspect, having more vocal variety. Second aspect, needing more eye contact. Third aspect, using cell phones less. And fourth, listening to more rock music / passion fruit. I think you did a great job through the usage of being a credible speaker. I believe personally that in order to persuade people, you need to appear to yourself as a credible person. And you projected confidence while speaking. If you have an individual and you're trying to sell them a product, and you stutter, and you just do all of that, you're not really showing that credibility, and they're less likely they're less likely to be able to be persuaded to what you're trying to sell. And I think you did a great job by appearing confident. I do wish that you focused on one aspect instead of 4 separate items to persuade your audience, but overall, great job. Your second objective was whether or not you appealed to the audience's interest. And I think you did a great job of that, using common examples and stories. One of the examples you brought up were individuals looking down on the pavement while walking. I think that's a great example because individuals in this room are able to connect with that because we see that each and every single day, walking to MLC, walking to Tate, walking home, anywhere. Great job with that usage of that particular example. Additionally, the usage of a story with particular reference to the rope. I didn't know that. That was a great way through the usage of common examples and stories to really engage your audience and keep them essentially persuaded by your points rather than making them bored and assume, why is this guy just giving me a 3-minute or 4-minute, 5-minute pitch about why I should use my cell phones less and have more eye contact. Additionally, your third objective here was whether or not you use logic and emotion to further your points and persuade your audience. I think you did a great job with regards to logic. You had a great organization. Even though you had 4 items to persuade your audience, you had seamless flow, starting from vocal variety and ending to passion fruit. You did not stutter at any step, trying to shift from one item to the next, and that's a great thing that you did there. Additionally, the usage of the rope story provided evidence to your central claims about whether or not you can persuade. But I do wish you had hard data or research to back up certain points of your speech overall. A certain example can be 85% of individuals have trouble sleeping while using their cell phones within an hour before they sleep. I made that up on the spot, but it certainly does increase your credibility when you're talking to individuals. And lastly, emotions. You had great vocal variety, great job making the audience laugh. I just wish I saw more. Your fourth and final objective, did you use notes? Compared to your first speech, you did a great job not using any notes at all, and I love self-improvement. Josh, I look forward to your last speech of the Competent Communicator Manual. So great job. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, timer. Were all the evaluators on time?
Within 3 minutes and 30 seconds? And yes, we're all
Okay. Would you now vote for the best evaluator? You have 30 seconds. Here you go. Okay, while everybody's finishing their vote, can I get the grammarian, timer, and all counter to stand up, please? To give their report.
All right, grammar report. I'll start with one general comment. It was an issue that was fairly repeated throughout the meeting, and that was the overuse of the word very. I think if you're saying very, a lot of times, a lot of the words we use, it's probably beneficial to look up some, I don't know, synonyms to common words. So not say very good, you could say like beneficial, or something like that. And for specific people, I'll start with speakers. Dennis, how long have you been speaking English, by the way? I was curious.
I learned it in high school, and so like 6 years in high school and middle school. And then after high school, I went half a year to LA, and that's where I really learned how you speak in an informal way, because in school you only learn it in a very formal way.
Well, you're great at it. You had two minor things. You had 2 minor things. There was one, the use of the word very. Just look up synonyms for words. You can Google very synonyms, and you'll see this chart of words you could use instead of very blank. One of the things you said, I take 5 classes. As a sentence, that's fine, but in the context, of the following sentences, the verb tense changed to more of a, I forgot the verb, I'm not a good grammar person myself, but it would have been better to say, I am taking 5 classes. That would follow the verb tense throughout the rest of your sentence. Honor. You had a lot of cases where you would say, and so to connect your sentences. These social run-ons. One of the things was you had some repetitional words like already, see how this already. It's just, if you're talking a little too fast, it's kind of slow, and I think it's usually better not to say the same word within 1 or 2 sentences of each other, just for sounding good, say. Josh. You did the same thing. You said, came all weekend to hang out all weekend. You just repetition kind of wastes your breath a little bit. And you were one of the people who actually had a really good vocabulary. And there's a lot of good words that you could have said very well. Last, just some evaluators. Ryan, you kind of interrupt yourself sometimes. So you say half sentence, insert an idea, and finish sentence. Just watch what you're doing, kind of keep your thoughts organized. And that's really all I have. Oh, Tyler. Everything you said in your tabletop was wrong, but it's impressive because you were trying to do that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Great. Can I have the op counter? Please report, please.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get those mental hiccups that are becoming verbal right now. Starting with you, Dennis, you have 3 ums. Actually, you have 4 ums, 3 ahs. You have 2 restarts where you kind of backtrack and start whatever phrase you're doing over again, like I just did right there. And you also have a couple of these clicks, and I have that problem myself, and you're not alone. Where you start, like a needle on a record, is just kind of skip for a second. Over, you have 4 us, 1 2 restarts, and 1 repeat. So it'd be like the, kind of. Josh. You have 3 1 and 2 restarts. Tyler Chan. Why did he make so many people for me to have to write down?
Oh yeah.
You didn't talk much, so you're good.
Sweet.
Let's start now with Festus.
Yes.
You have 1 restart.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, no problem, you did it. Hunter, you said, you know, 3 times. You know. And my brother has the same thing, actually. So I'm very cute to it. Jazz. 1 1 I realize as I turn, she's not there.
I will note it to her.
You will note it to her? I have like a slip that she can like take with her so you can talk to her about it. Connor, you have 6 uhs, and the way you were speaking so fast, I've heard it before where it's hidden underneath the rhythm and rhyme, so it's almost undetectable, but it's still there. Brand, love to joke. So twice, 1 restart, 2 uhs, and 1 click. Is it Serena? All right, Serena. You have 4 uhs. Trent, 4 ums and 1 restart. Tyler, you have 1 and 2 ahs. All right. This is why I'm the odd counter, by the way. Because I don't get to count on myself. Ryan has 2 ahs. Leah?
Ella.
Ella. My bad.
It's honestly, it's so common.
Yeah, that's the most important. 2 clicks, 2 restarts. Bhanodai,
What's up?
3 O's, 2 for the restarts. And Zack, 3 O's and 1 O. Came about whenever you're doing the informal talk with people after the speech. And that's it.
Probably the most in-depth counter report I've ever heard. Which is good. That's what we want. That's what we're here for. Evaluation. So now this is my portion of the evaluation. Let's see. We'll start with the evaluators. I'm going to go through my list here, make it kind of quick so we can end on time. Ryan, wow, great job. First evaluation, seriously, man, blew me away. You did a good sandwich, so you've been paying attention. Everybody else has been doing it. Yeah, exactly. There you go. And for those of you who don't know, a sandwich is a positive statement, meant to encourage the person, then a statement suggesting what they could work on, and then another positive statement at the end, right before they leave. So good job on that. You do rock back and forth a little bit, and you probably knew that, probably just a little bit nervous. If you go back in the video, you'll see. Kind of stop saying The point coming up here today was to not do fillers, Tyler. Let's see. Ella. Use the book. Great. That's what we're really trying to do here, is use the book. If you saw her, she had the book up here, and she was reading from it. If not reading from it, reading from a piece of paper that she used as...
I'm not counting.
I know, but I'm really trying to fix my fillers, and it's not working. You were supposed to use the books as a guide to evaluate each speaker. She did that. You had great energy. I love the energy. I love it. Because that transfers into the other person. The other person can feel that energy. They can feel like, oh wow, this person really cares. Like she's really into making you better. But your energy was a little bit much, and you got into the red. Luckily, you stopped right before the end, but you got to be careful about that whole energy thing. So maybe balance out the energy with just being concise a little bit. Maybe tone it down a little bit, but not too much. You just got to play with the balance. It's what works for you. Bhanodai. Up until the end, a little stutter. Man, you sounded, I was like, am I watching a YouTube video about how to be a Toastmaster evaluator? I mean, your speech was very fluent. It was very, see, I didn't use the word flow. That's one thing that I don't like about your evaluation, is the use of the word flow. To me, just personally, is not very good. But you were very experienced. You are a very experienced evaluator, and you projected that when you're on the stage, which is good, which is what you want. Well, lots of walking around. That is the one bad thing that I will say. You were, kind of doing this, maybe a little bit of nervous energy, maybe just energy in general you wanted to get out. And there wasn't, as far as I could see, too much purpose to the movement. And now, on to the notes of the meeting itself. You notice I sat in the back, and that's what the journal evaluator is supposed to do, because he's not just supposed to evaluate the evaluators, he's supposed to evaluate the entire meeting as a whole. So, Dennis, love the speech, man. Love it. I love self-improvement myself. Great speech, good job on the first one. Serena, good job filling in for SOA. You're doing a good job. There's times when I'll look around, and then all of a sudden all the slips are out of my box, and I'm like, she's a ninja. She's a ninja. She's an SOA ninja. So, great job doing that. Zack, a little bit shorter transitions. Because, as far as I know, the Toastmaster is supposed to come up here, say what he has to say, and then transition to the next section or person. Which you do add a little bit of a entertainment value to it when you do it, but sometimes it goes over past to where I feel like it would need to be. So maybe bring it back just a little bit. Also, you're not an evaluator. I know you love evaluations. It's your favorite section, but you're not an evaluator. You evaluated Dennis's speech right after he did it, and you evaluated Burnette's speech right after he did it too. Which, I don't personally care, but as a Toastmaster, your job is to kind of like make the meeting not flow, but fluent. So maybe work on that. I mean, you're a more experienced speaker than I am, so really it's me telling somebody else better than me. Doesn't feel right sometimes. No speaking while someone is talking on the stage. Josh and good goal for Christmas, man. Good goal for Christmas. Also, if you walk out, do not walk across the stage. I know Jazz has places to go, but I don't know, I'll probably need to talk to her after this. But don't walk across the stage, walk around. To not be a bother to the people on stage and other people still part of the meeting. And I know I walked out during the meeting, I was to go pee, even that was a Panda Express cup, and I think you want to smell vitamin water the second time. So, Festus, you walked in. When you walked in, wait for applause. That way, someone's not up here giving a speech and they're trying to concentrate on not using fillers, and they hear this. Right in the middle of their speech when they're trying to talk to people. I know you didn't mean anything by it, but I just thought I'd let you know, and that way let everybody else know that when you are waiting outside so you use the restroom, wait for applause and come back in, and then silently walk around and then come back in. James, you did a good job. It's first time timer, right?
Yeah.
You did a good job. So I was watching you, noticing the first time you used the timer, you kind of put it here when it was done, which is you eventually got better at it and just started holding it up, and you made sure the person did. So you fixed the mistake. So yeah, unless you're 100% certain the speaker saw the card, don't put it down. You know, make sure they see it. Let's see. Josh, good job today. Good speech. The notes, though. You're on speech 9. You got to try to leave the notes at home. You brought them up there. What I'm trying to get at you is that even if you mess up completely and just blubbermouth the entire speech, it's better not to use notes. That way you learn from that experience. Fair enough? He doesn't believe it. Last but not least, Tyler Chan. Good job with the. My brain is just mush today. With the table topics. Your question actually threw me off guard. Which I was really surprised. I had to really sit there and think, like, oh, okay. So these are really good questions. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the theme, of course. Valentine's Day. Other than that, this was a good meeting. I invite everybody to come out, and I'm going to give it off to the Toastmaster, Zack.
Alright, as Toastmaster, I'm going to evaluate the GE. I'm just kidding. So, overall, this meeting was great. Thank you for having me as Toastmaster. I really liked the theme, and you really brought it to life with those questions. And I really could tell that everyone had a very fun time doing all these different questions, and everyone that spoke today did a really good job with their speeches. Glad the odd count already did their job. If you look on those slips, you'll see General Evaluator, you'll see Table Topics Master, and you'll see Toastmaster. Can you please just write like a short blurb on how you think everyone did in their position? And as people do that, have we voted for Best Evaluator?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's basically my job done, right? So, welcome to the stage, Tyler.
Zack. We'll give another round of applause to Zack. Alright. Here we go. Before we conclude, I have a few announcements and also a roll send at the very end. So first thing, alright, so our social media. So if you're new and you notice there's a GoPro right here. We record all of our meetings and put it on YouTube so the speakers can see how they did themselves, see what they did that they didn't really know that they did. Because when I was up here, first seeing my videos, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I flail a lot. So it's one of those things. And don't worry, if you go viral, then you're the first video to go viral from our quotes.
I also see, since mentioning new people, I see we do have a few in the crowd. So if this is your first meeting, can you please stand up, tell us your name, your year, your major, how did you hear about us, and what do you thought about the meeting? Yes.
I'm Trent. I'm a third year. Attended marketing, and I heard about this through my econ class. I think actually you might have been up there. You and another guy?
Yeah, and we can.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's how I heard about it. And I've opened up for about Toastmasters before for my mom and stuff for her jobs, but I think that would be a good thing to do.
Hey, cool. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Bran. I'm a third year accounting and international business student. I actually found out about Toastmasters from James right here. We're both in the same business fraternity, and one of our focuses is kind of on self-improvement and stuff. So I know I could definitely be a better public speaker, and it's something that meant a lot to them, so I want to help them out. So hope they'll be back. So thank you.
Hey, I'm Bradley. I didn't really catch the whole meeting, but I'm a third year wildlife biology student, and I heard about Toastmasters just from looking at the organization website. So.
Cool. Thank you.